Hello and welcome to Songs for the Struggling Artist, the blogcast. This is episode 425. My name is Emily Rainbow Davis. Thank you for being here with me. So last week I recorded the blogcast early because I had a theater obligation thingy I needed to do on the night that I usually record the podcast. And in my, excitement of working on it, I fooled myself into thinking it was actually Monday when it was Sunday. And I released last week's podcast a day early. So if you were very confused about what day it was last week, that's on me. Because I put out Monday's podcast on Sunday. And today, I am also recording on Sunday and hoping that I can keep it together and record, but not publish this particular podcast. But if it happens, that's what happened. Hopefully, I think with my attention on it, it shouldn't happen again. But we are in similar circumstances on today's recording day because I'm recording on Sunday. And I will hopefully remember to schedule the publication of this rather than just putting it out. I hope I haven't, there's this whole thing in podcasting where you have to be, everyone's really intense about it always being on the same day. And I hope I haven't messed up my, algorithm, something. Anyway, but I am 425 episodes in, so I think I have been fairly consistent up until last week. So I doubt I've done any significant damage on the podcast mechanisms. Whew. Anyway, so today's blog is I'm doing this alternating thing where I'm doing kind of political one and then a more creative one because I have a lot of podcasts, blogs in the hole ready to go. And I don't want to hang out in the political realm too much is really the thing. But today's one of those. And this one is one that I wrote on Election Day. I have on the piece a trigger warning, which I will just give you the heads up about here so you don't even have to get that far if this is in fact a trigger for you. But basically, I'm going to use the words RAPE and RAPIST many times. And for most people, that is no more triggering than living in the world that we live in every day. But I do know that there are some people who, survivors who would just really rather not. So skip it if this is you. Go skip to the previous one, which is about creativity, and it's not getting a lot of listens. So check it out. Go back. Skip this. Oh, or if you're here for it, yeah, let's go. So if you're joining me for the first time, welcome. And what's going to happen is I'm going to read this blog to you, then I'm going to say a couple things, and then I will sing you a song. And that is how it goes. I'm so glad you're here. Here is this blog, which is called Something I Was Thinking About on Election Day. It's Election Day in New York City, Astoria particularly. I see a guy in a Trump baseball hat. We don't see a lot of those around here, and I hope we never will again, but watching him make his jaunty way up the sidewalk, playing his air piano, I started to think about how he's marked himself as someone dangerous, someone to avoid. I'll back up. A tweet that Moira Donegan put out on Election Day really got me. She said, "I don't think we've grappled enough with the psychic and dignity harm women have experienced in having a rapist elevated to a position of superlative power and authority by half the country and then kept there for the better part of a decade." End quote. And what it made me think about is how clear it has been made that so much of the country are either rapists, rape apologists, or just generally okay with rape. Of all the terrible things that Trump is, this is the one that stands out ahead of the pack for me. A jury agreed that he committed rape, and there are numerous other allegations behind that one. We don't even have to say he is an alleged rapist. At least one jury says he is. And his supporters are fine with it. They heard from his own mouth before the first election that he liked to commit sexual assault. And that was not a deal breaker. They voted for him anyway. Realizing how many people this was true for was reality shaking. Are there really this many rapists out there? And then I started to think about rape statistics and how it's about 1 in 5 women who will be raped in their lifetime, and how for so long we talked about the women who were raped, but not about the men who were doing the raping. So I guess there really are that many rapists out there. And I'm sure it's not just the supporters of Donald J. Trump that do the raping. There are lefty rapists too, for sure. But it does, it occurs to me now, draw a pretty clear line. A man in a Trump hat is much more likely to be a rapist or a rape apologist than one who would not wear a Trump hat. This is part of the reason MAGA guys have so much trouble getting dates. It's because they're basically putting a sign on their forehead saying, "I'm cool with rape," which is generally a big red flag for women. Just, FYI. I don't want to say Trump has done us a favor by revealing who women should watch out for, but it does make some things very clear. It is a very handy shorthand for a belief system. And I know some Trumpy person will go, "I'm not a rape apologist. I just like his thing on tariffs," or whatever. But that's the thing. Regardless of what you say, we all know that you're okay with some raping because you voted for a rapist. If you voted for that lady who shot her puppy, we'd all know that puppy shooting was not a deal breaker for you. And whether or not you would shoot our particular puppy, we know that that's something you feel okay with. And we'd probably hide our dogs somewhere when you came around. Weirdly, people in this country are much more willing to vote for a rapist than a puppy killer. So, cool? Anyway, I guess I weirdly started to feel grateful for how some of the most egregious rape apologists just wear their warning signs on their bodies, on their hats, or sweatshirts, or tees. It's like a warning label for rapists. Steer clear! I had some hope when I wrote this blog post that this was a trend that was leaving us rather than one that was being reinforced and increased. Because it was the afternoon on Election Day and there was still hope. And of course, there is still hope now. It's just a different kind of hope. We're going to hang on in a different way. But I will say, I think I thought, oh, that guy I saw in the Trump hat, he's going to multiply. Now he feels, secure and free. He's going to wear that thing all over the neighborhood. I have not seen him since. And I actually have not seen a single stitch of Trump memorabilia, paraphernalia. What do we call it? Advertisement, propaganda. I haven't seen anything since then. So at least here, no one, I thought that maybe some sense of shame around it might have not kicked in, but it seems like it's still working. So that's what I like to see. Just if you've got a t-shirt, keep it in your house. Anyway, what do I have to say? Oh, song. What am I going to sing for you in this world? So I was trying to think of like kiss off songs, like, get out of here, I don't want you here anymore kinds of songs. Unfortunately, I have sung a lot of those already. So I just thought, what else is there? And it suddenly occurred to me that Casey Musgrave's Step Off might have the quality that I was looking for. I have the sense in listening to it that she probably did not write it for a Trump supporter or a rapist. Well, she wrote it, I think, before Trump was an issue. He's always been an issue, but before he was a political issue. So I don't think it's about this particular population. I suspect that it was written about a woman, but certainly there are lots of women rape apologists. And they voted for Trump. Anyway, last time around, I did not say the man's name. This time, I guess I just don't care anymore, I think is what's happening. Ooh. Anyway, this song is a good time to sing, and it feels good, and it's nice to sing a I Hope You Step Off a Mountain song in this particular moment. And I hope that you will enjoy it. Meanwhile, thank you so much for listening. If you like this blogcast, please tell someone about it. Like, review, subscribe in your podcast app, and then any other podcast apps you can get your hands on. If you would like to support it with money, that would be amazing. Patreon.com/Emily R. Davis. There's also Ko-fi, there's PayPal. You can do a paid subscription on Substack. And if you have a place that you like to support artists that I am not yet on, please tell me about it. I will join, and then you can support me there. And mostly, I say thank you to all of you for listening. If your ears are on this, then that is an enormous support as well. And I am incredibly grateful. So, here I shall give you Casey Musgraves' Step Off. You sure look real pretty in your glass house. You probably think you're too good to take the trash out. Are you dumb, are you blind? 'Cause it's a real fine line between telling a joke and turning a knife. Don't wreck my reputation, let me wreck my own. Step off, step off. Yeah, you're getting too close to me with all your negativity. Just get lost, trying to make a little difference here. Why you gotta interfere? Keep climbing that mountain of dirty tricks, yeah. And when you finally get to the top, step off. Screwed everybody over in this town. There ain't nothing between you and the cold, hard ground. Keep running your mouth and stretching the truth. You just might find a hole in your parachute. Whatever gets you high will also bring you down. Step off, step off. Yeah, you're getting too close to me with all your negativity. Just get lost, trying to make a little difference here. Why you gotta interfere? Keep climbing that mountain of dirty tricks, yeah. And when you finally get to the top, step off. Sticks and stones may build a throne, but you'll be up there all alone. Step off, yeah, yeah, yeah. Step off, yeah, yeah, yeah. Keep climbing that mountain of dirty tricks, yeah. And when you finally get to the top, step off.